What we do here is go back.
revolutionary like a supernova, super 5G.
Is Dimka, is it not? I believe it's Dimka that's smiling even more. No, Dimka's not smiling. Never mind.
He's serious. He's very
Yeah.
serious about it.
He's extremely serious. No, wait, it was, is it Cressy or is it... No, Skrunk. Skrunk is smiling, yeah. Skrunk has the best smile. He's like, you know he's gonna have a good time no matter what. Well, speaking of good times, the knife going to, of course, AVEZ, as far as I could tell. They'll be the ones to kick it off on the CT side, and, well, we both know how this usually goes, and let's just enjoy ourselves the pistol round, shall we? As lvlUP begin on the T side, and they have an unusually good spawn, actually. This is peculiar, because usually spawns are a bit more compact. This gives them an additional half second, maybe a bit more. Let's see if this works out. Ladies and gents, the pistol. 3 players from AVEZ towards B. Kyler gets himself one, but it's Impulse Zimke. The reply is almost imminent. As Navrot, though, hold on. This might not be gone. Wow. That is a beautifully displayed quality of essence here by Navros, and taking the risk for the second peak, sure, but he gets away with it, and a 4K picks up the 4K, excuse me. Bit of a slow approach this time around, though, as AVEZ know they're up against pistols, right?
Yeah, there's nothing really to risk. I mean, you can over to be anytime soon. Ramp might be their main aggression as Marcos moves through slowly and steady to take a more of an aggressive round. Nafrod jump peeking, saw them all, and now the party should start for AVEZ.
And yes, it does. It is going to be a little bit of damage dealt early on. The pistol still getting away with 2, though. That is a surprising amount of frags, considering what they are currently handling and wielding. And in the end, sure enough, getting rid of 2 players is actually a lot better than one imagined. And, well, lvlUP, they will be going into a full buy here from that point forward. I mean, I put it like it's like a super achievement. It kind of helps out mitigate the early rise of the CTs if they get the pistol and don't lose anybody in the subsequent rounds.
And here goes the full force into it, in the sense that the MP9 has to be put in use. Close range, surprising duels is the only thing you can really try to get with that. It's Nafrot. We know this angle very well.
Oh,
it's such a classic take by the CTs by now from taking Ram. The smoke deep down, sending a player close to the right-hand side. That's the usual, to say it like that. And as Dimk is trying to deny the usual, just thin wall separate him and one of the CTs. As Ram stays clear in AVEZ, they remain clueless for the moment. They have not a single idea what's coming to hit them. As they remain in their default, wait patiently, and might see the explosion on ramp coming in soon.
Would you dare call that position Skrunk?
No,
I would dare. I would dare.
You can maybe we can establish that. I would be cool with that.
Me too, man. Me too. Well, lvlUP, cool with an A take. It's all 5 grouping up. The storm's coming. There is no Molotov, though, and hold on to your knickers, because right now Navrot and Sandbags and Cement might get an angle to work with. The pop flash not blinding more than in Sharani, but the entry is there, and a refrag comes immediately after.
And an impulse. Oh, it's getting absolutely denied by that MP9. There you have the close range advantage again, and the second time. Fairly painful it is. That means they getting encoding to strike massively, but the MP9s, they do the job, and they do the job quiet, well. Submachine guns thrown away, and in the right fashion, they have been tossed. It's obvious with the 3-0, sees their opponent crippled, with an economic disadvantage being, I mean, very easy to spot.
That's gonna hurt in the morning. lvlUP, perhaps in that essence, a little bit slow to respond to the early aggression or to the early frag, but sure enough, they had an ample opportunity, yet they didn't take it. Now, we do see yeah, Deagle's gonna come out, man. They don't really have a choice. And surprisingly, they're gonna be splitting up quite a little bit. Towards middle, though, as far as I can tell. Not a bad idea, level up. They wanna test the waters. They wanna see what they're up against towards other sites, and in this case, middle might be a weakness they can expose. It is a B split being set. If they get rid of Bialy, all of a sudden they have two players they can kind of encompass in towards the B site itself.
True. Very good point.
Yeah.
Ouch. As you say that. Bialy falls horribly with a
Crunch.
Deagle bullet in his face. That would also be a crunch, would have been a very legitimate thing to say. There's going to be mollied off, and this is separating the T's for now, as Kyler might just not know about his fate. AVN strikes close, and suddenly this might all turn around. Level Up is in a fairly uncomfortable part, and AVEZ is in a fairly uncomfortable spot, as only K remains. The submachine gun part and the rifle is becoming the tool that is needed. But what kind of casualties AVEZ had to face right here? It doesn't hurt this round. It possibly does in the future.
In the near future, even. As you say, yeah, the casualties, they're pretty severe, man. 4 players lost, a lot of economy being thrown out the window. In this case, level up, successful pistol for me. Unfortunately, didn't get the victory. A 1-on-1, of course, the clutch, as I've spoken about, of course, takes a moment. But we can see in this instance, again, it is going to be aggression towards A ramp with the full bye-bye level up, even D on the AWP. Let's see how far they can pull this. D, here comes the pop flash. Through the smoke we go. Navrot. I mean, it was a very simple action that gives them a simple advantage. And level up, unfortunately, not prepared for that. Dude, I like it so much, though. I'll be honest, I like it. That every one of them has kind of splintered off into separate groups and leading their own youngsters in charge. It's just, it's poetical for me. I love it. I really do. And I hope they transfer as much knowledge as possible to these guys, because they're the grassroots of the Polish scene.
Absolutely. If you want to make Polish CS great again, you start somewhere. And as Bialy starts off with taking out Impulse, it's gonna be most likely a fairly uncomfortable 6-0 at least. My God. From left, right, and center they come. They have no clue what's happening to them.
Yep. See, this is one of the realities that I was a little bit afraid of we'll be seeing. And unfortunately for level up, we are seeing it, and there's not doing about it. This is the gun round that they have to kind of win, in my mind, in order to start facilitating a potential return, in order to stop a potential full tilt. And we're about to find out if that's the case. Here comes a full-on A play. I like this pop flash over towards deep ramp from T base, and it over towards deep ramp from T base, and it might just work. K, he's in short, though the angle never peeks out wildly. Where's the Molotovs? Where's the reply? Level up. Pistols and Kevlar, the choice is clear. It's a full A rush towards ramp, towards the site itself. The angles of attack, though, going to be a bit more favorable. Nades coming in, Shadani getting tagged as they do take out the weapon of K.
as the Molotov is close to Nafrod. He will not fall for now. He will not be scared for now. As there, AVN and Co came a good bit closer. That's a big risk to right now take. And so you gotta wait. It might just do the boost, exactly that. Try to take a little bit look on the elevated angle. Nobody's awaiting them there. Yeah, that could have been, that's a reasonable point to make, but Yali is hiding himself in such an off angle that he might be not that expected. And as you see, they all come in the cluster. They move so close and tightly. And the nade is perfect. That is mortar fire by the Polish side. They know where Dimke stands, and he could now become the hero, but that ain't it. And again, they fail. And it's you know, they get better and better and better, or seemingly better and better by round, but they still continue to fail. And that hurts.
It does, and it's not just the fact that they, you know, that they come this close and fail, but it's more, you know, remember what I said in the pregame, where if lvlUP are not going to be able to close out clutches, if they're not going to be able to win a few individual performances above AVEZ, and this was one of those cases. Dimke at 1-on-2, and usually you would see him win, or at least usually would see him at least have a very close contention for it. Unfortunately, in this instance, it wasn't even near that.
Oh no, there you go! This is absolutely devastating. Again and again, they find frags where they should not be even having the room. And it just took 10 seconds for AVEZ to find a double kill in the form of Nafrod taken down too. And look where Kyler already stands. There is no move possible.
Oh, come on. I mean, you said it well already, and literally lvlUP currently are in a Schach position. It's not a Schach checkmate yet, but currently they're in check, and they are in a troublesome spot, to say the least. Now, luckily, they're able to get rid of Marcos, so that will enable them to keep on pushing unobstructed, de-checking the flank. They will be reading well onto Kyler's position. So again, look at this, 2v1. Bialy this time the one to clutch it out for AVEZ, and lvlUP the one to have the advantage set for them. Are they able to keep it? Are they able to survive it? That is a better question, and well, D will say yes for the first time in this first half. 9-1. It comes in clutch, it comes in late, but it comes in nonetheless. That's what matters. Sharani, 0-10. He is having a slow start, a bad start. Unfortunately, likewise Impulse, only 2 frags, not doing extremely better. There is definitely a pattern right now that lvlUP is following, and that's a pattern of their classic defeats that we saw.
Yeah, very, very well said. As long as it's not XQZ's big bang bang boom checkmate move. It's gonna remain that way. I forgot what it was. Something similar.
The 3-move checkmate, right? Where he opens up with the runner, or the cavalry, how do you say?
Yeah, what go on.
And then basically your opponent reads that and moves in with the queen to checkmate you in 2 moves or 3 moves.
No. I'm talking about XQZ. I'm not talking about Kasparov.
Okay, fair enough.
That's a different thing.
I saw XQZ lose checkmate.
He lost to like 5 or 6 moves. Either way. So Rainy fighting K, and that is nearly the collateral that's coming in for Marcos, but he can't find much more, and lvlUP seem to finally get their engine started. Takes some time. So,
let's see.
That's not going to happen, is it?
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. There is not much that can be done in this case, and Bialy and Kyler, if they save up the 2 rifles, they can rebuy the next. They can get some sort of a meaningful buy going on. We do see the screen is going to have a few technical issues for us, but so far 9-2, lvlUP. They seemingly found their fortune, their strength, and they're able to play off of it. So at least they kick off well. I'm not sure if it's the same for you, that the screen is frozen in time.
Yeah, we see the same, brother.
Copy that, copy that. So it's just not just me.
It's the
That's
minimap
always...
again.
Yeah. Well, it is going to be 4 players towards A. Look at this, AVEZ. Now, deciding against the force buy, of course, with Bialy dropping dead and not having a rifle to throw over. This will be a solo play by Kyler towards B. They're relying on him to survive for as long as possible, or at least being able to find an entry or two in case lvlUP try to get up close, while the rest make their way towards A ramp, and they're going to be pushing in deep with a few pop flashes to support it. Oh, yoy.
Oh, yeah. Berkele. That doesn't look good at all. Danger close it is, but what exactly happened, we can only estimate and guess. Well, at that point in time, the 9-1 is definitely going to be 9-3. Pardon that.
Yeah. 9-3. That sounds a little bit more in tune. Kyler, can you make it a 1-on-4? Can you make it a clutch? I think the answer is no, but yeah, and then that comes in pretty quick. As you said, 9-3, lvlUP. They are able to make it work, at least for a few in a row. Here comes the real test of metal for them. It's the buy round coming out from AVEZ, and now we can be certain that they'll be playing a little bit more carefully, a little bit more, we can say, steadily, perhaps. Not looking for a straight fight, per se, in the first few moments of every round or every single engagement. And let's find out if that's the case. 9-3. Let's see how far does this go and how far does this stretch. Speaking of the stretch, Marcos finds himself AVN and a great start towards the B ramp as he pushes out Wild. Though Bialy getting fragged back.
Very true. Very legit. What you're about to say here, and something has been dropped, that's for sure.
I can hear that as well.
What it has been, only a wild guess.
Luckily not the C4.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, on the minimap, I can see that Impulse is carrying it. And unfortunately for Marcos, he will be dropped on B side. Here we go. 3v4, my dude. The retake is on, and there will be a few frags to be returned with, but Sharani finds another hat trick. He had a 0-10 start, now he's at 6-11. Rising like a phoenix, man. 2 rounds, and he's back at it again. 9-4, as we are approaching that 9-5. Potentially, might be on the board.
It possibly will be on the board. Not quite sure what to expect at that point in time, though. As the momentum was definitely shifting right now for lvlUP. How long can they keep up this very strict and strong momentum? The frame has changed for Meteor over. Not quite sure how it is for you.
Oh, same for me. It is still a frozen frame as far as I can tell, but it has changed. So we'll see if we can get this fixed. We apologize for the inconvenience to the viewers, guys. Unfortunately, sometimes these things happen, and production is on it happily and quickly. So no worries, we'll get this sorted out in a matter of moments. Like lvlUP just sorted out AVEZ. I mean, this is an excellent turnaround given how it all began. 9-0, man. It looked concerning, and I started to get that creeping feeling up at the back of my head that we usually get when you see a start like this for one or the other side. Especially when you see lvlUP begin this poorly, you know the tensions are going to be high, that the emotions are going to be running even higher, and there's definitive presence of that potential tilt in the back of their mind. That much is guaranteed.
There we go.
Yeah. Yep. The screen, the picture is back, folks. Let's go.
And as the 9-4 is back, a quick look at the scoreboard tells us what Natford is made of. You have highlighted him previous to that. You're absolutely right with your highlighting. The man is on 17 frags after just 13 rounds played. A phenomenal start for him personally. But level up, yeah, you're right. The 9-5 is very possible, though obviously AVEZ would highly benefit from the 11-4. I think there's nothing really to talk about that. Funny-wise, both teams are a mini slight better on the T side. Not too much. It's not that AVEZ is actually highly CT-sided. They're fairly balanced, which is then once more making it worrying. How will level up perform when sides are being switched?
That question will be answered, unfortunately, only by their play, and we'll have to wait until we see it. Is it just me? It's not just me. Minimap.
It's not just you, brother.
Back to it again. A little bit of a default coming out from level up. No surprise there. The boost did work out. K will find himself an entry to begin with. As Impulse is locked out of this round, the rest of AVEZ make their way back home towards the site itself. Kyler. And as far as I can tell, it's Marcos right next to him, playing a very dangerous game. They'll be both holding this angle towards B, a very off angle, yet it can work like a charm. Boost on towards A itself as well. Do they check it? Shadani seems to be aware of it. He's going to be jump spotting. He's going to be seeing it. Perfectly done. Predicts that play and finds the booster as well. A side secured, or at least should be. Oy, I spoke too soon, didn't I? This is still a 3-on-3 that could go wrong for a level up.
And as you see right there, they might just not have the awareness, awareness about that one, as the flank works quite well. It is unfortunately Kyler who can't go any further, but Bialy should have a bit of awareness where the opponents are. No kit in hand, no armor on himself. Makes the situation quite difficult. At that point in time, it's not much more time left. The clock is ticking. He made a bit of noise. Everybody knows where he is, and he can't do much more about it.
Yeah.
Here it comes, your 9-5.
Yeah, confirmed. We are in the 9-5 tournament, and it would be only, well, it is only normal to have the 9-5 scoreline. A little bit surprised there by Bialy's choice, I have to admit. I did not expect him to keep on pushing outwards, at least press the bomb whilst trying to do so, perhaps. But he decided that he goes for a straight take, and, you know, power to the people and all that. It is going to be the full buy. AVEZ, let's see how far they can go here. They've got the up on Marcos, and again, A-ramp push. Oh, this is like the 4th time, is it not? I am not liking this anymore.
Nah, I'm not liking this either. I mean, we saw the surprise moment happen, I think, for round number 9 or round number 8, but you ain't doing that, brother. At least not that way, that's for sure.
It's not working out. I mean, they're really just putting themselves out there without much regard for anything else. It's just, let's go for the take, you know, screw it. Like we didn't do it already 5 times in a row.
True. It feels redundant, I fully agree on that. Which definitely will become a problem at one point. For now, it's just a matter of time if they find the double digits or not. It's still fairly possible considering what's happening for me in my head right now is if they continuously do the same again and again and again and again, also on the T site, that is the question you have to raise. In the meantime, K as well as Marcos both are striking big time here over on the side of A, and this might become a quite uncomfortable take for level up.
It already is. Impulse, the last man standing, unfortunately can't make it happen, and yeah, level up perhaps taking a few moments too long after finding the initial entry, after losing the refrag. They got themselves caught in another whirlwind, another swirl, a dance by AVEZ, the dance of death. And, well, the second half begins, as you said. You're interested in seeing how it goes? Likewise, my friend, likewise. I want to see how the hell does AVEZ adjust, and will they be doing the same thing? And level up likewise themselves. Will they doing a similar approach that AVEZ had with that aggressive stance towards ramp, and even B, for example?
And right
The
now.
answer?
I mean, the answer over. You're the Nostradamus of us. Maybe they went to the toilet if you think about it in the long run.
Hey, man. Hey, look, it might work. It might have worked. You never know.
And as for the moment, let's see if that takeover on the side of A is going to work quite well, as D seems a little bit intimidated what's happening towards him. Goes to the sidelines, where Kyler might just meet him anytime soon. The taps have to be a pivotal part of your portfolio right now, as he moves closer and closer. Ah, that hurts. First one down. Second one is on the same side of the spot. And this is all just a big, massive distraction.
The best part for AVEZ is they don't need to temper themselves on top of an entry. They don't need to push in because of that entry. They have a fake set for B, and this will draw attention fully out of level up. If nothing else, it might draw them from A ramp into their clutches a little bit deeper inside. And, well, this is an approach that we haven't seen in a little while, but it just might work like a charm, and indeed it does. AVN pushes in further and further,
As
gets
you say
caught by
it.
Kyler. Shot on a double. As I speak the words, he makes it happen, and Impulse helps him out. They've dropped the bomb.
Yeah, that's the critical part, is it? It could be all fine and dandy, but not like that. And this means Nafrot, the man who performed so well in the few parts, or the first part of this map, has now the first obstacle is not to die after time. That he fulfills. Thank the Lord for that, I would say they're over.
It's definitely important that he gets rid of that bomb, or at least tries to plant to force them to peek into him, or let him go with a free plant, which definitely wouldn't be favorable in this case for, of course, level up.
No, not at all. Not the slightest bit. Not the slightest bit. No, I mean, you're right. I don't even want to doubt it. That is the most worrying part overall, right? What we're seeing right here.
Oh.
And that...
Haven't seen that in a little while.
Yeah, I haven't heard the scream. Did I have the conversation with you that there should be sound kits to the scream?
Yeah, no, actually, it wasn't you and I that discussed that, but I like the idea.
I think it was another Serbian. As you're not Serbian, though, but you know what I mean. That was actually... It was CD. It was CD. I remember it was CD Shah. I was doing this voice. Imagine sound kits for the Zeus, like a scream, a different scream, like
the Williams.
Exactly, exactly the same. Imagine that would be the Williams scream for that.
That'd be amazing.
That would be hilariously good.
In general, what is amazing is the fact that Level Up are able to win the pistol and the second round without too much issue. Although right now, I might have cursed at my tongue spitting silver webs that catch anybody in their trajectory. This is a problem. I did not foresee them. Oh, gee, what? Level Up. It's like that. Just with a blink of an eye, I blink away, and well, you blink out. This is a little bit weird. 11-7. I did not expect a quick round like that. You know, I tried to hype them up. I tried to build something, and then just...
No, I feel you. Brother, listen. How often have we been treated the wrong way in those casts by...
too many times.
Things. Exactly. And just to give you a little bit of an insight on a statistical basis, which I'm a big fan of, Nafrod is leading the entire thing with a 127 ADR, which is just out of this world. This man is just performing by the book. Together with K, he has an 8-3 opening duel rate, both together, which is also insane. Which, overall, Level Up, considering they have no player outside of Dimka with a positive opening duel rate, which definitely means something is wrong, or something was wrong on the CT side with AVEZ, fulfilling the prophecy of, we have a man up, we should win this round. And that's devastating in the long run to see something like that happening. Let's see if they can definitely try something with this at least.
Well, they have to. try or not, you know, as the great wise master once said, that there is no try, there is only do or do not. And in this case, for level up, they don't have much of a choice, truly, they have to do it. The op on D might be the difference maker. It's something that we have yet to experience. He is holding on towards the A side as far as I can tell. And I'd very much love to see how far he can push with it. Though close on short, not perhaps my exact taste, but he does get away with the shot on Navrot and kicks it open for level up. Perfectly so. And I like that you're bringing up statistics. It does paint a good picture as to, you know, how capable both sides are and how much statistics do favor them in certain moments, especially AVEZ in this case. And well, let's see if perhaps level up goes up against the flow here and tries to work against the numbers, if we can say so. You said that the win percentage after getting an opening frag was how much exactly?
No, I didn't say that. But considering the situation, AVEZ has ended up with them having mainly the positive rate of that is concerning. And saying that, this round is concerning as well.
Oh, wow.
Yali strikes through the smoke on impulse, does a little bit of the sideways thingy, and suddenly has entered that site with ease. As I say so, he's going to be the man who then brings it home as well. That was mandatory, as they nearly failed.
That was a bit of a close call. I did not expect it to go down that hatch again. Dimke cutting it close once again. Very much neck to neck, a one-on-one challenge that unfortunately Dimke cannot close out. It was the second or third time we've seen him in a similar spot, and this will start to chip away at the confidence of level up, and certainly it is, as we're seeing the result form into a very distinctive advantage. AVEZ, they're not far off from potentially closing out the map anymore. But sorry, the action happened just as you started with the with the numbers.
You
Could please...
you don't need to excuse yourself. No, all good. AVEZ has so far in this series, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4 players with an even or positive opening kill ratio, which is speaking for itself, right? They successfully opened 13 rounds. And of those 13, I didn't see them win 13 rounds. So
yeah,
a good bunch of things went wrong, especially considering how it went over on the CT site. Either way, Serini, you are one sneaky lad. This is the taser once more put to use.
Eye for an eye and all that.
What is actually the kill bonus for
$100, I believe.
What?
Yes, I think it's been reduced to $100.
That's not fair.
I kind of agree, but then again, it is a one-shot weapon, you know, and it's like too easy almost if you get close enough.
Yeah, that's true though. Yeah, that's what many underestimate about the Zeus. It's a one-shot body shot. You are just. It's basically like close-range AWP with no scope or something.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a very. It's a very weird weapon, you know, and then you play that Zeus and you're so happy when you hit him and then realize, oh wait, I did 99 in 1? Well, damn, I'm not buying that weapon ever again. Dimke, luckily, he remains on the M4 and securing himself an entry to begin with. And yeah, you said about how 4 players out of AVEZ have a positive kill opening ratio, kill round opening ratio. And yeah, the score speaks for itself in that essence. As you said, a few things did go wrong for level up. Likewise for AVEZ even in between. That first half after the 9-0 start, it was getting a bit wonky after they lost control. It was 5 in a row for level up. But it seems like they are kind of pushing it back a little bit. I mean, it is 13 currently. And Sharani, he needs to be extremely vigilant and ready for this take. If he fails this approach, if he fails to find a kill, yeah, that's going to be a double down, as it is going to be Kyler to find himself a second. And all of a sudden, once more, Impulse and Dimke, the 2v2 ensues. They need this round desperately. There is no doubt anymore. Without it, they are gone for this map. It is as clear as day.
And them kept just pushing through, makes that one work with ease. We saw byali though clutch it in the past. This man is fairly capable of doing so. Oh, and that shot is good! And that one is better! byali, what are you doing with that one? Dimka is falling as the final one, and byali, he's the clutch meister of this game, and it's more than enjoyable to watch. I don't know what this guy had for breakfast, but it seems like Polish breakfast must be goddamn good if this is happening.
Oh man, I'm definitely having a piece of that pie. That was something else entirely. byali, you love to watch it, you love to see it when it comes out from a man like him, from a player like him, and he delivers a deadly blow to level up. And not only in the essence of losing the round, but also the essence of economy, the essence of the current position of level up. It is on the edge, straining by every last string, as we do see once more K this time approach the A site and single-handedly clean it out without any issue whatsoever. Seems like we know where this ship is headed, or where this ship is about to sink for level up.
As you see right there. That is one hell of a match we had ourselves. So I'm very much looking forward if this is going to end the way that we know it. 15-7, level up has possibly a bit of a problem, I imagine.
You imagine it? I don't think you need to imagine that problem.
I don't worry.
I know you don't want to. Neither do I. But honestly, in this case, I think that problem is it's quite real, and it's not going away anytime soon, right? Double up might be the solution, though, or is it?
Nah, is it? That's a question. And as you see right there, Sereni as well as AVN, they strike when needed. Markosh is about to fall down anytime soon, as he has to bring through an off 100, what am I saying? 80 seconds he has to bring that AWP through. 1v3 is winnable, but realistic. It was a little too early, that shot. Hit
actually
Dimka.
tagged.
Yeah, it's quite
Damn.
incredible. Can dodge it. Another kill would be beneficial to his cause.
Yeah, if he'd been able to get rid of, be it either Dimke or, in this case, I believe it was AVN close, it'd be pretty cool to be able to limit their amount of economy they can split around the group. But double up seemed to have been the answer for level up, at least for one round. Now, AVEZ know the gig is up here, so the double up won't be perhaps as surprising. Yet again, level up did lose the entry, right? On middle, it was Impulse that got himself caught. And AVEZ, I mean, they are relying heavily on that single-man performance, single hand performance. And let's see if this will work out once more, as we do have a classic A-ramp contention. Navrot in yellow, and K trying to help out through deep ramp itself. AVN burning, Navrot takes the challenge, takes the push, and he finds the double!
That's nasty. It's absolutely insane.
How?
Don't ask the question. Don't ask the question. That is not mandatory. We're just focusing on that round right here. Sereni's a little bit forced back, but he now has to track the players on site. No chance against Kyler. There's more to come. Navrot is suddenly running out of bullets. He can't even make another kill. Poor guy. As Dimka finds two. Story most likely to be told, except Impulse has the play of his life. And thought for a second he tagged him, but that ain't happening. 16-8. AVEZ made it close, but AVEZ got the win. And that means we're heading up to map number 2 anytime soon. That's going to be Inferno. You better don't go anywhere. We'll just be right back.
Initialize booting. These are your targets. You must Find, capture and contain them until extraction vehicle arrives. Witnesses are irrelevant. Leave them unharmed if you can. End of a transmission.
Do you have a data skills roadmap for your career?
can't look you in the face. I don't wanna have to lie. I wanted this love to survive. Now when I look in your I feel paralyzed.
of second season. What I didn't show you, I don't know. Do we know if we cast alternate tomorrow? You don't, right?
Let me double check.
It says to be decided, so I guess not.
I don't think so. Maybe. If we
Maybe,
get lucky,
right?
maybe.
Exactly, because there's something that I want to show you. I'm
Okay.
not going to show it now. It's something very special.
I mean, you raised my
attention.
curiosity.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have my attention as well. That is for certain.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see. In the meantime, Kyler is taking a close look at Kai. It's going to be like a little smooch on the side of his cheek. Like, yeah, bro, we got another one. Good boy.
Final hug.
Final hug. We're about to go into battle. And Nafrat was the master of the battlefield over there on the wonderful map of Vertigo. Now has to strike together with his teammates. Flashbang was brilliant, but that is going to cost some life. Skylar has no chance. Poor man has been overrun.
I have to admit, very interesting choice of defense for AVEZ. They knew it was a B coming in, and they chose to be very aggressive, very open with their stance. Their dark setup, their triple setup, and of course their ruin setup didn't really work out as planned in its essence. From triple, they moved towards dark with a double setup behind pillar, and it just didn't. Unfortunately, when flashes come flying, and trust me when we say this, level up will have flashes flying, you shouldn't be relying on just straight headshot corners. You should be perhaps a bit more wiggly behind those corners, forcing level up to push into you and give you a chance of a frag. Well, AVEZ, though, might not be as well attuned as level up is for Inferno. Let's see how far this takes them, as the force buy already being deconstructed.
Already has been deconstructed. Second time by now. Bialy falls as well. Both sides fairly weak, to say it like that, very obviously.
Yeah, no surprise there, right? I mean,
not at all. No. And as you see right there, ouch, that hurts, and that might do as well. And that's a nice bit of damage dealt. Kai could probably get at least one on impulse with a body shot. The headshot here would be brilliant, but that's going to be the 9th. So, what we are seeing is nothing else than a 2-0 for level up. A brilliant start for the team that was crumbling and struggling on the first map so massively from start.
yeah, they really had a bit of a weird one, a bit of a poor one on Vertigo. And the concern immediately rose when we saw that 9-0. We are fairly certain that, level up are in dire trouble, and indeed it seemed to have been the case. They will have, or they had lost it 16-8, so definitely that trouble was present. And starting off well off, or starting like this on Inferno, getting themselves a bit of an early bird beginning, able to secure a 3-0 potentially with all 4 players in this instance surviving, getting the economy to be built up. They set themselves up for a perfect start of the second map here, and that's what they need. That's what they lacked all that time on Vertigo. You could see it in the performance of their players. Dimke failing one-on-ones and one-on-twos. The chances just being wasted away. I mean, yeah, sure, taken, but unfortunately not won over. And again, level up. The better the beginning for them in a map, obviously the chance for them not tilting and falling over their own shoelaces in essence, dropping in that case. So level up, group up, hit the B site, and do some damage. Well, damage. Just take the round as they should already. I love that camera angle, by the way.
Yeah, beautiful camera. I mean, last time we had, was it Marco who was observing for us last time?
I believe it was Chev. Now I'm not sure if it was Chev.
Either way, we saw the person at least doing a brilliant job by showing us all the 925 logos on the map. You remember that?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
There's none. Missing on that.
I'm not sure how many there are on Inferno, actually. Good question. There's at least a few here and there, but not as many as in Vertigo, though.
Most likely not. Most likely not. And as we're right now taking a quick and closer look at what's happening over here, Sereni and Co, who have to, first of all, remain very passive on Banana. With all the utility thrown down by 3 players, as AVEZ fortifies that position. The flash comes out. That is a mistake, as Wood is fortified by Sereni. The second one comes in as well. And that is pure force! That's raining here right now from the Serbian. This B-side has been opened up by him himself. That's nasty.
That's a can of worms AVEZ should not be opening, at least not by force until they're ready to face it. They're pushed down Banana, perhaps a little bit uncalled for, and we could see lvlUP delayed their Banana take because they were worried about something like that happening, because they were worried about losing control too quickly and having to sacrifice 1 or 2 players to take Banana control. Instead, patience seemed to have been paid off as they wait a little bit, the utilities being wasted, and after AVEZ realized, oh, they're not taking Banana, are they? Let's try and counter them. Well, psych. It is the one and only Sharani ready on the other hand, and he pulls off a hat-trick, and a masterful one at that. Navrot, we can see here early to be caught, and then it's just all the way Sharani as he pulls it out of somewhere and seemingly nowhere. And, well, AVEZ perhaps a bit too confident, given how Vertigo ended. They are thinking that they can just rattle around lvlUP like that, easy peasy. Well, think again, mates. This is not going to be an easy matchup, not by a long shot.
Well, not at all. As you see right there. Ouch. That hurt at least on one, but the Beagle's not as striking as we had them in memory. AVEZ might just have a reverse sweep as we saw it on Vertigo coming at them. Except Kyler has too much to say. Brilliant first crack, moves backwards, but the molly's not making it any easier for him, does it?
Not one bit. Now there's a little bit of a concern in my mind when it comes to lvlUP and Inferno. We saw them last week lose against Isako Boris 11-4 on the half. So in that instance, of course, I'm happy to see them perform here, and definitely they themselves are going to be happy about that. It's more the fact that it still happened. It's still something that can happen if they're not going to be paying attention to AVEZ, if they're not going to be respecting the aggression and the firepower AVEZ can bring on the table if so destined to be. But this is a 5-0 start that I didn't expect out of lvlUP, at least not in this manner, and they're doing a great job at maintaining the control over the beginning of our second map here. And, well, it is their map choice after all, so it is to be expected to go down like that. Full buy, AVEZ. This is where perhaps the difference might be made, though.
Might, right?
Yes, might.
That's always the... I don't want to say mighty. That would be too cheesy, wouldn't it?
Oh, why? Why? It's a good word.
You think so?
Yeah.
I doubt it. I think it always sounds like... that would be too cheesy in this context. Either way. Let's focus on what we're good at, and that's definitely not cheesy comments. It's rather focusing on this wonderful game. As we're speaking of which, Stimka takes Kyler down. Finally, the AWP strikes. It was about goddamn time that happens. As Viali continues, job. Sereni have quite easy time taking the side, as though they still have to be careful about Markosh. The man is blind again and again and again. Navrot falls. And suddenly it all collapses once more.
They handle that with such care. lvlUP respect that they're able to keep themselves composed in the face of utter defeat. You can see at the start there, as soon as Marcos shoots the first shot and basically reveals the op in pit, the rest of lvlUP seized up a moment. They seized up and halted in their position. Obviously, afterwards, it was Dimke pushing forward through that cart position, and the Molotov, of course, forcing him off into a weird angle, getting caught likewise, leaving lvlUP 2-man down. You could see already the fear starting to gather in their eyes. Luckily enough, they're able to handle themselves with care and, well, take it easy, take it one by one. Impulse in the end, Chardonnay, Impulse, and I believe it was AVN that closed it out with success to be able to build a victory in their name. And lvlUP once again deliver, as I said, Impulse to open it up. 7-0 is what we're looking at, and this is the best start we've had for lvlUP in a long time, in general.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They've been lacking quite massively in Vertigo, as AVEZ felt very comfortable at one point, you have to say. They felt like, yeah, it was our game, don't worry. A big mistake they have done there, obviously. And now we head into a game that should be not that easy for them at all. Not one bit. They still did it. So far, so good. And this 7-0 is so worrying and so concerning in every way.
Well, K is following the footsteps of Chardonnay at 0-6 currently, so we might even have a James Bond for the first time today already on the server, which would not be exactly the best outlook for AVEZ, but then again, it happens. Well, that's fine if that's the case, indeed. Double up. You like this, Vince? You like the double up setup?
What kind of question is that?
I mean, I know you like it, but
it has to make sense.
That's true. It does have to make sense, yeah.
But in that sense, I mean, you tried so much. It's about time to do the double op setup, isn't it? And, you know, the defense of the double op setup, one being set up over on long on A, the other one towards banana, it surely is a very viable option in this sense.
It is a viable option. It gives you an access. It gives you access to that, you know, shoot and run kind of tactic where you take a shot, reposition, take another angle, and try and force your opponents into guessing where the next mine will be landing. Good pop flash though. The second time we see them force an angle out of the oppers, take a different stance, and the third shot kind of reveals the position of Marcos. The smoke already deployed, and now the wraparound towards A will be masterful. If lvlUP can get the entry, yes they do, though they do not hold against Bialy, still at 50 HP. The challenge though presented by D and AVN seems to be a bit much, as Marcos gets caught as well. Navrot and K, do they even attempt this is a better question. I mean, it's 7-0. At this point, you have to deliver on something. As K is still at 0 frags even, I believe. It's not looking as sweet and as sound as Vertigo did. Exactly the opposite, unfortunately. I'll let myself be surprised at this point, because honestly, you know, Train is historically a good map for both sides. Well, at least somewhat for both sides. AVEZ might have a bit of a smaller win ratio, but they've played it multiple times already, so they're not strangers to it. Likewise, lvlUP. They're not exactly afraid to play Train. It wouldn't be the first rodeo for them as well. I mean, they won against alternate attacks, for example. So again, a good opponent that they played against and were able to come out on top with. But how will it go? That's, yeah, that answer, I guess, will only be coming once we see the map itself, if we do see it. Still, 8-0, it's not the end of the road here if AVEZ perhaps are able to play or start playing now. A bit of a disconnect by D, though. Hopefully we'll get him back in a matter of moments. Speaking of the moments, Vince, we gotta shout out our sponsors of the tournament. Big love goes to Skin Baron and to Unicorn, and of course Esports Millions. There's a few codes flying around. One specific is Relog, 300% increase on your first deposit at Unicorn. Go check it out. use the code RELOG, RELOG, and well, you get a nice little bonus on top of that. D is also back, so that's always nice to see, and we should be able to continue. That's yeah, that's a legit point. And Dimke starts off strong. Yeah, I mean, that's just some Serbian aim for you, man. They come in hot. Oh, well.
Kai has that smoke. Has that flashbang as well. Makes that one work. And the plant is not over. The plant is not working.
Wow. Fair enough. I mean, that plant wasn't exactly the best for D. As K, 0 frags still on the board, 0 and 6 still on the board, and he saves it, man. The one man you wouldn't expect to be able to pull it off, he pulls it off, gets the first for AVEZ after 8 excruciating rounds for the Polish squad. It is the one and only K that pulls it off with a diffuse. I mean, fair enough. It goes like that. D, unfortunately, unable to clock it out. Let's see if he's perhaps going to redeem himself with a performance here on the 10th round itself as we kick it off. Double up still in effect. AVEZ should know, excuse me, lvlUP, I believe, are aware of that. And they'll be relying on D to open up a site or two.
Oh, man.
That was, I gotta say, D went very, very defensive about that after plan. And I can respect that choice, but perhaps he could have been a bit more wide open about his angles.
I mean, did you see how the bomb was planted?
Yeah.
The thing was, it was so weirdly tilted that it didn't work in the end. And now lvlUP is back to the same speed. The B side is absolutely taken. The money reserves of AVEZ are, I think, a good word would be concerning. Gone.
Oh, yeah.
Alternatively, if nothing else, than a safe coming in. And once again, lvlUP swapping the pace from being a very slow A side build-up, where the only thing why I imagine AVEZ took 4 players to A was due to the fact that there was no attention and appearance over on Banana. Well, it's now they say, you know what, we have this full speed mode, let's do it again.
Exactly so, and they abused that scenario. They abused that preconceived notion of AVEZ, thinking that it's going to be an attempt by lvlUP to try and break upper mid before they approach either B or A site itself. That kind of shies away from the actual challenge. As lvlUP, I mean, this is perfect. As you said already, economy is a problem. AVEZ do save up, what, 2 rifles, I believe, in totality, so it's not the worst of pullaways. K as well finally comes to James Bond. He has yet to frag on the board, even though he won a round. Surprisingly, the only man that does not have a kill on the server is the only one that secured a round for AVEZ. So, you know, that kind of just just the fact that that's actually happening is a little bit concerning in itself. AVEZ seem to be losing hope in themselves, and more than anything, perhaps underestimating what lvlUP actually will have or would have brought up on Inferno. The double up likewise not working out as well as planned, which additionally puts strain on their economy.
And man, that was. I mean, lvlUP is fun on Inferno. We had the discussion, and you said that previous to this match, yeah, I think that's their best map. Statistically, they're bad over here. You have to say it like that. Statistically, AVEZ is just worse. So, that being said, lvlUP plays a wonderful bit of Counter-Strike right now with a change of pace every time. Here, by the way, talking about a change of pace, sending 2 players deep down banana, who possibly could try to sell the fake, which they'll definitely do.
No smoke into CT is perhaps a little bit wonky and daring, but no, actually just deployed. Never mind. Thought there was not one available. Fake.
Ow, and there you go. Talking about that. This is then painful. Fairly painful. As they hit by the off guard, the flashbang works well. bjali! That is a spray down coming from the god himself. 2-9 for AVEZ by just a wonderful slight piece of utility working quite well.
Now that's a shot of adrenaline that I needed, man.
All for free for over.
Hey, man, come on.
As long as that's the only shot you need.
Absolutely. I mean, when bjali starts pulling off rounds like that, you know he's starting to feel it again. As a 4-man spray down, you don't see that very often. The reaction, I put it mildly there just because I didn't want to, you know, jinx him or anything, as I usually do.
I feel you. You do. Absolutely. And as it right now comes, Markosh says, you know what? I'm just running through this. From apartments, back he comes. Full speed. And that is going to give lvlUP still the opportunity to put that bomb down. As the AWP is known, there's a big pressure on him for the moment. As he waits.
Most definitely there is.
Yeah, there is. And the Molotov could make a difference right now.
Unfortunately, the mollies right now not being used in the best of their ways, as there will be solo plays coming out. AVEZ, what are you thinking right now? I'm going to start condemning this because I'm not liking the way they're approaching the retake. And certainly Navrot gets one. That's not close to enough, as bjali, again, a 1-on-2, pulls out the AK, or at least switches out for the AK. Unfortunately, Dimka's already got an alpha angle on him, or a higher angle. As lvlUP, I'm not sure what happened there, but AVEZ seemed to have let go of a defense. They had only one on site, and here comes the glorious replay. The 4-man spray down, just absolutely lovely to watch. Something you get very rarely to enjoy. And bjali, hopefully there's going to be more moments like that. But as I was saying, basically AVEZ, they pulled players off of the A side because they thought it was a B hit, and they had 2 players in arches being caught whilst there was already a push happening towards the site itself. So in that case, you know, it was worrisome. With Marcos and Apps as well, it isolates that the op quite effectively. What? Okay. There was no flash, was there?
No,
as far as I
no.
could tell?
You could tell, right?
That's a bit, I don't know, danger territory that I'm not opposed against. Just not sure if this is the right way for AVEZ right now. Yeah.
How? That is. What in God's name happened? Kai had an advantageous angle. Yeah, but he didn't move, did he?
The problem is, he was spotted before he saw him because of his shoulder. And many players disregard the fact that when you're standing in an angle like that, and the closer you are to the edge, the higher the chance your shoulder is peeking out a little bit, or your hand or something, and your opponents will see that. And by the time you are able to spot them, it's already too late, especially at wood, at car, where you can get banged over, or generally speaking, you're kind of dead on arrival. I'm more surprised K actually puts himself in that spot instead of perhaps more in towards the wooden pallet, trying to just hunker down effectively. So yeah, level up. I mean, this is hats down to them. They're giving us the performance we wanted to see all this time.
I'm very concerned about what's happening with level up right now. Pardon, with AVEZ. They're missing out a good bunch of opportunities at the moment. And I love level up in the sense they play. Talking about that. First man falling. That's gonna be Collar. Pistols and small stuff that's not really make much. But then I'm also asking myself, did AVEZ already give up on this?
That's a legit good question. Yeah, I'm now thinking about it a little bit more.
Thinking about you're throwing everything off the table.
I mean, it's quite possible. Like, obviously, you know, we both insinuated they're not exactly the best on Inferno, and they know it. We know it. Everybody knows this. So there's a chance, perhaps, that they've decided after that abysmal 8-0, 9-1 half, or well, half. It is still going on currently. That perhaps it would be best if they just focus on what comes next, which is Train. I mean, I certainly wouldn't be surprised as much if that was the case. They'll try again, obviously. This is not yet the end. The gun round, one more coming, but... I cannot help myself but say that perhaps that is actually one of the reasons why we see them play this let loose, right? This less organized style as opposed to usual.
Yeah, just the swap is going to be the most interesting part right here. Because I personally don't feel like this is going to be a big change. I personally am very interested to see what's going to happen once they go into the aggressor side. Especially level up on Inferno are even much more favorable over on CT. They seemingly love to defend.
Pretty much so. Top mid control going to be contested for the defense, perhaps not coming out in full throws just yet. Now this boost might give Bialy an advantage, but also it is a huge disadvantage if they spot him and pre-fire the angle, as usually you would see. Both of those two players would be in dire trouble. But look at this, they're backing off A again. The read is so wrong, AVEZ. They're about to be B-slapped. And they don't even know about it. Like, this is legitimately the call-outs right now. The read from AVEZ is utterly and clearly wrong. It is as clear as daylight. They had zero information to base this off on. There was perhaps a bit of fake towards Banana with a few flashbangs, but that was ages ago already. And the A-side's lost before they can even respond. The rotation's so slow. I mean, Zesht, I gotta be honest, but this seems like the end of the road already. This seems like 13-2 is happening, whether AVEZ like it or not, especially with the way they've responded to it.
I would really like to see what their in-game thinking was about that, because I can't cope with it. It doesn't make sense. With that being said, 13-2 it is. You could say this is a fairly fast.
Oh yeah.
Best of 3 series right now.
I mean, you say you want to understand their inner voice or their how to say reasoning for it. I think it's just there's no real reasoning as in, oh, you know, we got info, but it's more like, hey, let's gamble. They're probably going B. Let's see if, you know, if they're going B, we win. If they're not, well, good luck next time, I guess. Yeah. Whatever that next time might be. I think that's the only real choice they made, and unfortunately, the gamble did not pay off. And I'm surprised they gamble in that instance. Really, I'm just a bit shocked more about the fact they're gambling with a round like that.
How do you say? It is what it is. And Sereni, the matter of fact that he has deep down banana control is definitely going to help him as he also hears the players who are coming from ramp. I would be surprised if AVEZ have the awareness about him that early. Now he's trapped and can't do much more, but should have crucial information for his teammates that a good bunch of players are coming banana. That should be the time to retreat. As I say, it's
Oh yeah.
not even needed. Why would you retreat right now?
Why? But why? Well, usually we would retreat if we're in danger and, you know, we lose a player in banana. You want to play it safe. You want to pull back. You don't want to get headshotted and destroyed. But when you have D in mind and when you have control like that being exerted, you don't need to retreat. You can just shoot the heads and you're fine. You're good. Second pistol to level up. And they will ride this map out with great success, as expected. And yeah, AVEZ, their mind is on train already, or at least should be, because Inferno is long gone by this point, especially when you let level up on the CT side now. When you let them be free as birds, this is legitimately the end of the road for the Polish squad. And I have zero trust and belief that they will be able to pull anything out of this map, even when a full buy round comes around. And even then, that's going to be, if as far as I can tell, like there's 2 players that are going to have somewhat of a buy, and the rest are just going to be broken with pistols and Kevlars. So yeah, you can already tell how different it all is.
Should I read you a rule of CSGO?
It's never over until it's over.
No. Rule number 52. Never in your life buy a ZZ for an AWP, except you love the risk and want to feel some adrenaline while you wait 5 seconds until the draw animation finally ends. I think that is legit.
That is actually a legit thing. If you want to feel the adrenaline pumping in your bloods when you're waiting for that slow draw animation, oh boy. Yeah. Especially after they set smaller amount of bullets in the magazine or in the reserve, I think that draw animation doesn't really cut for the weapon anymore. It's like, okay, it's a strong weapon still, no argument there, but it's useless in a tactical sense, especially with only 24 bullets, which 12 of them you use almost instantaneously for random stuff. Well, you shouldn't, but how many times you don't see that happen?
And as you see right there, that should be a story told. Just trying to pass through.
Oh, what?
Oh no.
1G in chat, boys.
That is the 1G coming in. And they nearly had them off the rotation. That ain't happening for now. A side is absolutely clear. I was just taking a lot of time realizing that.
Oh, double peek on long. They don't check the corner. Are you kidding me? You don't check the corner.
Oh no. That might just cost them a good bunch. And D is the last man standing.
No way. No. The timing.
It's absolutely insane, right? It is insane. And Bialy has to pick up the bomb. D might have a good bit of an advantage as close range duel doesn't end up his way.
Oh, that gave me a little bit of a scare there. First of all, level up, they had ample opportunity to not lose a single player in long. Unfortunately, they were just a bit too full of themselves in that instance and didn't check the full corner towards Lib, painting a bloody picture on the other side of long. AVEZ, don't forget the bomb. Please don't do me dirty like this. This is not an Amiga. We're watching Shirley. I mean, usually you would call the Serbian bomb drop here, but this is now becoming a Polish issue as well, I guess. They're pushing into banana, getting tagged already, and they're still okay. Somebody's responding. Thank you for realizing that, Roger. It eases my anxiety.
Listening to the over voice in your head that is saying
Seriously.
respond for Christ's sake, and there it comes. Kyler. Nafrot, Bialy, Marcos, it's a hard task, and specifically 12 rounds in a row they would hypothetically need to get right here. With their seemingly heavy B focus, that might end up quite badly for them.
It might, but we know what this guy's capable of. I think he can be highlighted as one of the MVPs of Level Up in general. Him and D, in my mind, are definitely the 2 strongest players in the squad. Needs to be careful, though. Doesn't want to lose his head before the fight actually begins. AVN with an MP9. AVN with the second. How is he getting away with 2 kills here? Where's the rest of AVEZ? What are you thinking? What are you doing? Where's the wraparound? Where's the where's the commitment together to the round like this? And Bialy, he wants to play this one a bit differently. Obvious that he wants to draw attention and catch himself a player coming out alive, but yeah, like Bialy, 1-on-4, mate, 20, 15 seconds. What you waiting for?
What you're waiting for, brother? I'm waiting for the 16 free. Level Up done it, and we are heading on to train any second soon. You better don't go anywhere. We'll just head into our final map in just a bit.
Initialize booting.
AVEZ at 47 for the polls. This is definitely going to be a close match, or at least a close map, a lot closer than what we've seen up to this point. As you said, Inferno, it ended off very, very, very poorly. AVEZ, I'm not sure what they were thinking exactly, but most likely their minds were already in this third and final map of the best of 3 opening here of the Swiss stage. And let's see if that is going to be indeed the case, as the first round of the Swiss stage is potentially coming to a close soon enough here for one or the other team. Well, we'll see who succeeds and who fails, but in any case, the pistol, it's now in full effect. We've got 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs, and an 8 on the side of lvlUP as they will start on their T side. And AVEZ, only on Bialy having the kit and the smoke. I kind of like this commitment to Kevlar. It gives them more survivability.
It gives them more survivability, that's true. Now we have a bit more of a cinematic perspective, as, my gosh, no, pardon, that is a little bit of the wrong way around, it doesn't matter. Well, at least we see a B-side attack. This is what all matters, right? This is all that matters. Yeah. And Markosh is all over the place. That's finally D. That's D as well. D's everywhere. And Nafrod is right now being a little bit schizophrenic about who it actually is. In the meantime, AVEZ take the control over the site, and poor D has died just a few bunch of times in this round already. 7 times or something like that. Poor lad. In a way.
Hey, man. It's a tough life being a terrorist.
Absolutely. It's the worst.
And maybe they're fighting for freedom. Who knows? Well, AVEZ, luckily they're fighting for the right side in this case, and it is going to be 1-0. The pistol goes their way, and we are going to be returning to normality as lvlUP decide to go for an eco. I respect that choice. They have a tendency to sometimes go for a full investment, but in this instance, we've seen them both on Vertigo and here now, where they opt out of the Force and take it slow, take it easy, and try and just do damage with whatever they have at their disposal, being a few P250s, excuse me, and the Glocks.
Yeah, and as you see right there, that's a clean sweep. Nothing too crazy to talk about right here, as flick left and right doesn't work according to plan. Regarding Train, and just mentioning that one real quick, AVEZ has way much more experience than the side of lvlUP on this. They might not be too successful overall. I mean, they pick up victories against Crazy, against Lindy Vikings, against Illuminor. They have a sort of high tendency to go into overtimes. Yet the comparison is, for me personally, that it's a little bit more dramatic when lvlUP has performed recently, though they have picked up 2 interesting victories, and that was first against alternate attacks and against Grafficiarze, or something like that. So,
that name is don't even if like me and Dean, when we try to pronounce it and I failed, you know it's a hard name to pronounce.
I know you're. I don't know if there's any name you can say, but I would say it's Grafficiarze. It sounds so Italian. It sounds so horribly Italian.
I said the same. The same. It sounds pure Italian. It's like Grafficiarze. It's like, you know, I can do it on the piazza at the evening.
Si.
It was that's where it ends for me, right? It's like, damn.
True. The thing about the Polish language had hardly any vowels. No, hardly any
I don't know what you meaning in that sense, but
wait a second. God. What is vowels. You know what I mean? What vowels are? A, E, I, O, U.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hardly have any in Polish language, right?
Oh, that's
never noticed that.
Good point. Now that you put it out like that, yeah, I guess that's true.
Think about it. We'll leave you with this thought and head back into CS, and you know. Over told me I'm getting a little bit rusty, so I'm doing the total opposite right now. I will do the total opposite. With Timken, you know, taking a bit of ground, electric isn't it for him. 1 minute 15, and I don't see much happening here. Again, could this be a potential Vertigo we're seeing once more?
I do not know. Hopefully they're not going to be thrown on the bus like I just was. I didn't expect you to throw shade out like that.
No, that was not throwing shade. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe not fully, but you know, it's just like, come on, man, you make me sound like I was some sort of a evil guy that's like, yeah, you're rusty. You're not rusty.
No, that's not what I meant at all. No, don't get me wrong.
I know. I know. I'm just messing with you a little bit. You know me. I'm always down to have a laugh and to enjoy ourselves. Well, luckily, AVEZ likewise enjoying themselves very nicely here. And level up. Can they make that a bit more painful, or at least the enjoyment they had the pleasure of having on Vertigo? We're about to find out. You called out if this might be Inferno repeating itself. Well, certainly the answer is not yet, as Shadani and D open it up. They also hurt Kate.
They did. They very much did. Level Up having the upper hand right now. As Yali shoots a little early. And Kate has so much information. Finds the first. The second is granted as well. That is the bomb down. And this is a gift that has been given. Another one coming in. And that means they probably know where Sereni is. No, they're unaware of it. But now they do.
Yeah, it was a close call, and certainly the gift from the gods delivers. Unfortunately, it's not enough. And K, I'm happy to see him perform. He had one of the, not the worst, but he definitely had a very poor showing on Vertigo. Excuse me, on Inferno, not Vertigo. Shadani. Let's see how far does he pull it here, though. It's a 1-on-2 he needs to clutch in. He has the time to perhaps swindle a fake or two around the edge, yet he goes straight for it. Respect the balls on this guy. Kyler walks into the site through connector alone, as Bialy's left to handle this on his lonesome now. In a 1-on-1, the clutch opens up.
It's getting very worrying, doesn't it? It's getting really problematic at that point. Bialy is not having the best conditions for himself. Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Bialy.
Yeah, 100%. This gives him a good idea what's happening next. Bialy strikes, got the kit.
He's got it.
And makes it work. A brilliant job. And you were right. I was doubting it for a second. Did he see a bit of the shoulder? But it seems like he had the move. And that gave him a big, massive advantage. 5-0. And that means that there it comes. Look at that. Yeah, that's what needed. And they were so uncautious.
They really were. A little bit lost in space, seemingly, but saved by Bialy yet again. No surprise, of course, if there's anybody to save them, it's definitely most prudent to have Bialy on that spot. 5-0, though, I gotta say, AVEZ, this is a distinct difference from what we saw on Inferno. D goes out first with the op, though. What in the world has just happened there? As they do take the entry on Navrot, I believe that was entry happened in upper brown holes. They did not expect to have to deal with Kyler immediately after. And K is again in pop, so control is being retaken by AVEZ. As Kyler is still alone on B. AVEZ is, you know, on Inferno we saw some wonky decisions by committing to B when there was no info. Now they had all the info, yet the rotation's so slow. There's a chance this could go wildly wrong. Do they check Kyler? Is a better question. The answer, no, they don't.
And that hurts to watch. The bomb is down, putting a bit more pressure onto them. They know about Kai coming in from behind. He still puts up pressure, and they're coming in left, right, and center. It seems like that scenario once more falls critically. And that all in favor of AVEZ. This is weird. It seems like Level Up, there are a few essential corners, a few essential positions they don't estimate an opponent to be in. Remember the previous round where they didn't think somebody could have pushed A main. They had nobody covering that. You logically have to consider that that's the case. And this again happens right here. One of the classic corners around spools. Not happening.
It's quite diabolical indeed. Level Up seem to have been lost in space a little bit, not thinking of potentials and, of course, what they could be facing entering sites. And let's see if that's going to happen again. Pistols and Kevlar out in Olaf. Already a player has been positioned himself. It's Impulse to be taking the challenge if, of course, required or so happens to be the chance for him to win one. 3v3 as Bialy clears out Impulse shot and he comes in close with the Tech 9. Unfortunately, no headshot, no success. As AVEZ will clean up the mess and the attempt not going to be very successful. 2 frags is not bad, though. Being able to work it against the CT side like this and, you know, chip away at them long enough, you might have a diamond in the rough. But unfortunately, lvlUP, they've already got themselves 7-0 down. So in this instance, they'll have to start chipping away at a few big cuts if they want to have any chance of winning. Up on D. Let's see this buy round how it swings. This is important for lvlUP.
It is important for lvlUP for sure. And as you see right there, problems might occur anytime soon. Maybe NCO very patient in their play, extremely patient. There's right now wait for anything to happen. There it comes. There they start to strike first. Fails with... They're sending all 3. What are they doing? Over, let this be a joke! Kai, how in God's name are they gifting those? This is not the lvlUP we have seen on Inferno. Astute, smart, and focused on their plays. But right now, it's Christmas, and AVEZ is the happy child in front of the tree.
I mean, if nothing else, K is a painter because he painted those walls a different color. And lvlUP, they are literally just absolutely handled like no other. And a happy child opening up a big present, you know, when you are sitting underneath the 3 in the evening or in the morning, depending your ritual, and you see like a big packet. Well, that one was for K. And for AVEZ, it couldn't come in better. It couldn't start off better. 15-3 is where K is currently standing at with KD. He is truly handling them like no other. The double drop, it was prevented, or at least was caught before it could be attempted. And truly the timing favoring the Polish. Well. This is...
I have no words for that.
Yep, neither do I, man.
It drives me crazy to see it. Because it was not mandatory. It was absolutely not mandatory. All 4 stacked up and gifting it. They saw their first man die. Nobody's coming in to support.
They seem to have lost perhaps hope at times, even, you know, when you're desperate to have 4 players in upper in upper pop and hoping to still take it. It's like, come on, you're putting everything at risk for pop. You don't need to do that exactly as he said. Though, hold on. The fear and loathing comes in through, and
finally,
the fear of God might be said in AVEZ here.
It would be about goddamn time to do something about it. After trying. That round is pretty much done and dusted. And that could be the thing we saw also on Vertigo, if you remember.
The return journey of, what, 5-6 rounds, right? No,
yeah.
5 rounds?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that hurts in the long run. It didn't make it impossible for them, don't get me wrong, but...
I gotta be brutally honest, man. If they make it 5 rounds in a row here, and however many afterwards, they're gonna be successful in my eyes. Because already getting 5 rounds in this instance is gonna be success. It's gonna be a great deal of a performance required out of them. So I hope they can pull off something like that. Otherwise, the future is very bleak for the squad itself.
Yeah. Absolutely agreed.
I have to point out, though, I'm happy we don't see a double up for AVEZ. I don't think it's really worth it, nor it's really working out as well as they think it is. Honestly, it's like, just keep to rifles, boys. You seem to be more prudent and more accurate with them. Although... Oh.
That hurts.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt in the morning.
Yeah. You hate to see it right now because that shouldn't be the case, right?
Not at all.
That once more is going too far. It's AVN, pardon, it's lvlUP who continuously fail in taking those very pivotal control moments. And SD dodges death. There's no... Oh, well, there's one more Molotov.
There's
really
no
gotta
smoke,
make
so...
You gotta make it right with the timing. There's no other way.
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
not gonna work out.
Okay. The times he had on the crosshair. It's ridiculous. And there he gets
Kiss
the
and make up.
first. Second definitely knows about it, but he dodges it, does himself a favor! And he's throwing it sideways, admin. This is nasty as hell.
It's only appropriate the fact that it's also on train, so certainly the essence of Foon coming out. But that was magnificent to watch. K, his performance has been ramped up from 0 to 100 real fast, man. I mean, his showing on Inferno, we won't even mention it. It's just here he is a different kind of beast, a different kind of obstacle. Single-handedly being able to take level up out of the rounds itself is scary, and we can see the Serbians right now, they're starting to lose patience, they're starting to lose control. It's going to be a fast A approach, an attempt at least. AVN already burning hard. This is not looking sweet as Goose, and Kyler. Very risky, but he gets away with it. And that's what happens when you have a 9-1 result. You're going to start seeing risks that you otherwise wouldn't have, and AVEZ is getting away with them.
Yep.
Oh, wait, no. Ooh. Wait, this is weird.
That is weird. It's not done yet, over. As Billy May says. As no Kyler. Finds the easy one on AVN. Works around the bomb train. That is problematic, but they might have considered that they found a player that... That's bullets. That's not enough bullets. Marcus, though, knows where he stands. Takes a long way around it, and... The duels they take is ridiculous. What's happening here on the side is just... lvlUP seems so uninformed of what's happening.
Yeah, they seem to kind of... Oh, no way. The timing that he spots him to return. And Shiny, what? What? Mate, I gotta be honest here. What in the world just happened with you, Shiny? What was the logical decision that made you go back the same way, literally the same moment as you get spotted crossing? I mean, I would understand against a rifle, but against an op, surely you're a bit more careful, a bit more... I don't know.
You gotta pay more attention to that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I hate to see that. I really do. It's just, come on, man. You needed that round. And I understand the reasoning behind it, but then again, it's an op you're going up against. You should know that.
All very true. Absolutely. It hurts to watch. And with that being said, my dear Over, can't change it anymore, does it? But AVN says,
Nope.
you know what? Screw it. We're just going out of here. And that makes it work to some degree. As I say, not.
God. No way.
They're demolishing them. This is now a puck. This feels more like a puck now.
It's like... Oh. This feels like the FPLC qualifier that I played in. So, yeah, let's find out if that's the case. Impulse. 1v2, as you said. More of a puck than anything else. The flank. Now, they know Navrot is someone in between. He might have heard the scope as well. It's quite possible. Oh, the timing! An impulse! Mwah, beautiful. Okay. Okay. 4K. What a crazy match, though.
Absolutely.
What a crazy map.
You know, you know what I said in the beginning of this game? You remember?
That it's gonna be very close?
An even playground we're seeing.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I was wrong. I was tricked.
Maybe tricked, but definitely... I wouldn't say as wrong as you might think, because it all has to do with lvlUP starting up poorly. And that's it.
True. No, you are right. It still sucks to...
No, it's I know what you mean, yeah.
But it's about time to do something here. 10-2. Taking room on A main is what AVEZ is trying if you take a look at the minimap. But Nafrod has a good bit of information. This seems to be Ivy. And as he moves up, takes the high ground, his teammate, okay, doesn't look any better. This could become very problematic. And as I say that, he takes a lot of room, doesn't he? No! Again, Over! This happens again. It's
Yep.
once more failing.
And once again, it is AVEZ that seem to be able to keep
No.
control, and above all else, just a steady hand. And I wanted to make a joke with the high ground, you know. I wanted to say, General Kenobi, is that you and all that, but unfortunately, Level Up did take care of K almost instantaneously after he got the shot off. Navidot likewise. But yeah, like you pointed out, again, they don't check the corner, they don't check pull, and that is an original sin in CS. I'll call it right now. Not checking corners, forgetting that there's a chance somebody might be waiting right behind that, and they are paying a high price for it. 11-2. I think that price in itself has been set, and so far yet to be met by Level Up, and even a chance here for them to close at 11-4 is looking very grim and very desolate. Now, luckily, the economy for AVEZ has kind of come to a screeching halt likewise, so if by some miracle they're able to close it out here, they should be able to close 11.
Oliver, keep up your dream.
I mean, maybe, you know.
An Impulse right now taking the ground over here on the B side. It seems like what they're trying, pardon, on the A side is what they're trying to do. Bialy is just waiting back behind that bomb train. Has a bit of an idea where they're all coming from, but he loses his head in the meantime, beheaded and impaled by the bullets. That is not making it any easier for Kyler. Level Up is really either 100 or 0. There's no thing in between. I think this is a bit of a problem with them, is really the consistency in performing.
Oh yeah.
Beating Atex on this map, you know, beating them on Vertigo, that's crazy. That's absolutely something that should never happen. And then in the meantime, this is what they failed against.
You know what they remind me of, and kind of give me a bit of feeling of. You know when you play you probably played any MOBA games, right? Or maybe MMORPGs where you level up and you get a full health points, full mana, full protection, and stuff like that. It feels like Level Up, you know, leveled up in between the previous round, and they made it clean. They made it happen, just like not losing a single player. So
yeah.
it felt a little bit like that. Hopefully 11-4 is still possible, though, and we did insinuate if they are able to win the previous, that this should be definitely happening. Here comes the CZ, though, close range. AVN will be able to keep it in control. Losing one player is not the best, but in this case, it's not the worst either.
A very concerning part here for Level Up. As AVN takes a lot of room once more. Oh, Bialy's getting beheaded. Didn't expect someone to be that close around the smoke. 11-4, it's gotta be. There's no way around it. Markosh definitely been hurt with 5 points of health. Good night. See you next round. Which still raises the question here over how good can Level Up perform now on the CT site? They are extremely CT-sided. A little less CT-sided AVEZ is, but either way, the difference in rounds is the biggest concerning part for me here right now.
Yeah, I think that's a concern that right now Level Up should not be giving themselves headaches over. They need to focus round by round. They need to focus moment by moment, kill by kill. That's it. That's what they need. As you said, their consistency is a problem, and the more they focus on other things but themselves, the more inconsistent they become. And I really think the cure for this madness is just taking it easy, making sure it works inch by inch. And this certainly works. Dimke D once again displaying the prowess of the pistol.
Finally.
As
Man.
they literally obliterate AVEZ.
Absolutely time to do so. Absolutely time to finally strike. And Level Up. They give Bialy a good bit of room. If he hits the right time into coming from B, that would be insane. But as I say that, he has been spotted. Impulse eliminated. And now, I'm very interested to see what's happening up next. As Bialy finds one. It's not done yet. Talking about it. We talked about it, and it fails.
Oh, man.
Look where AVN is. Just go on that goddamn site and you got it.
Oh, man. I've already written down that they won the second pistol, man. Oh, I literally wrote it down in my notebook. I was like, yeah, they've got this. Surely they've got this. And I was too careless. I might have jinxed them. AVN, 1v2. as you said, his positioning out of order, out of way, and he gets spotted. Wait, they didn't plant yet. Hold on.
That's
I
not
might
done.
not be wrong yet.
You might not be wrong yet. That bomb is not down. And AVN 13 and Markosh 26. This is a duel just by a bullet, as both are trying to take somewhat of an advantage ground. One is up on top, the other one is just playing around him. 9 seconds. They don't meet each other. They don't meet each other, and that has been heard. Wrong side. Still tries to make it work. One shot, and he does it.
After time as well, I think. I
What
think
is
he
this
got him
round?
after time.
What is this round?
No, he didn't. He got him at the same second as the time ended. And this round, oh my god, the start is so good, so enjoyable to watch. A 5v2 that happens to go into a one-on-one where Avian then has to clutch it all out by him lonesome and effectively save the game, or at least save the map with that. I mean, we come down to the last few, and the answer to what this round was, well, hectic and absolutely chaotic, and a good representation of what lvlUP have currently within themselves. A lot of chaos, a lot of wonky stuff, but also a lot of skill and a lot of potential. Likewise for AVEZ, I guess, in a way. Let's see if AVEZ can rain on their parade.
You gotta be joking. Come on, keep it going, okay. Don't stop there. I want to see more of that Eagle action come into place. He knows, but Impulse finally has the right response to that. And as we see, still lvlUP quite devastated. The B side, in the meantime, fully clear and fully in place of AVEZ. Though it can be easily retaken by just that one Glock defended on the T site. Again, he's very, very impatient. He's very, very patient, taking that one back. He wants that close range duel, and Yali in the meantime. Could have been all his.
Yeah, they'll handle it. Jesus, for a second there, I'll be honest with you, I almost lost hope there. There's a second in between where, you know, one more frag would probably tilt the favor and the scales in the hands of AVEZ, and I don't want to see that. I didn't want to see that outcome, and luckily we don't. 11-6, lvlUP. They handle it with extreme care, although some would say with extreme negligence almost.
You choose, brother. You choose. Meantime. AVEZ. It seems like they're a little too greedy for some of those frags. And that seems to cost them around from time to time, as they have a man advantage which they could work on too, but there it goes. That hurt to watch. Is there more to come is the question over.
They do seem to be very hungry for the frags. It's kind of weird seeing that, right? As you said, after getting the entry, that they would continuously just try and hunt down even more single-handedly. And I mean, it is kind of working out, and it will be working out as they get rid of the 3 more, excuse me. AVN left alone once again to his own devices.
Yeah, it's definitely not that kind of round you want to have in your hands. Nafrod might be just looking on the wrong side, but both are covering the bomb quite well. Nafrod kills him anyway, 12-6. And you know, this is where you just can actually look away from the monitor for 5 seconds, and a 4-4 is turning into a 1 versus 4.
Exactly so, right? It's such a quick moment in the round itself. You know, you blink and you miss it, and it's kind of scary, really, how quickly lvlUP lose that control. And unfortunately for them, they are on the CT side. It's gonna have to be pistols and Kevlars. And what I like by AVEZ is they're not really complicating their tactics. They're not really going out of their way to try and fake or be very secret about what they're doing. They kind of set up the defaults. They kind of look for an engagement a little bit early on, and then they see where they tread or how they're feeling in the moment. How after testing out the waters, they are ready to perhaps take on the waves.
And at that point in time, looks very interesting to see what we're going to get out of that round. As the pistols, at least finds Navra. That is nice to have. Other than that, I don't see anything else happening. Won't. 13-6 seems to be on the way.
Yeah, 13-6 should be on the way, but Bialy does get lost, so in that case, you know, given it's an eco round, not the worst of outcomes in a way. Still, if we look at just statistics themselves, or we look at how the previous maps went, Vertigo, both pistols to AVEZ, and the half 10-5 ending 16-8. So overall, level up just being caught up in that whirlwind, not really being able to pull away from the vortex. Inferno, the exact opposite, a polar opposite, if one could even say, at 2 and 13 to, or 13 and 2 to level up, winning both pistols. Again, exactly the same scenario, just an even better performance. Level up truly giving us a glimpse of what they're capable of. But then we have Train, 11-4 on the half, pistol 1 to AVEZ, pistol 2 to level up. And now seemingly battling it out here on the second half, the last half here for these two teams. Who potentially could win, who potentially will lose. And who will be the first to get knocked into the 0-1 position of the Swiss stage. Let's find out for ourselves, shall we? As it is the gun round that level up desperately required to win. If they want to have a chance of even getting close to AVEZ.
Absolutely. And as right now, 13-6. It's going to become fairly interesting. This is like the do or die round for level up. Afterwards, there's not much more room for failure, nearly none. And Avian's position could become so pivotal, especially as he could expect a little bit of support flash, but he doesn't have anyone helping him in that way. He's the man with the utility right now on the B site. He doesn't have any for himself. And slowly and steady, the timer's ticking. They saw the first. Avian Smalley is pivotal, but sees him dead anyway.
The B hit is going to be successful, and not only in taking the site, but also in flushing out the survivors into the deadly angle of Bialy, making sure they don't carry over any weapons or have a chance of even trying to save them. And we know where this is headed. The train has left the station as AVEZ is now riding the wave, basically. Level up. No response seemingly available to them. Whatever they are throwing on the board is being countered. And truly, the Polar squad here seem to be on a whole another level compared in this instance to level up. And yeah, we can see Pistols and Kepler an attempt perhaps to try and snuff out the flame somehow, you know. It's like the house is on fire, but they're how do you say, they're breathing on it. You know, they're literally just trying to whoosh it out of the air.
And as you see right there, the T's are winning again, 15-6. Might be done and dusted soon, my dear Over.
Yep. Absolutely.
Might be done very soon, which would be a worrying state to be in. I mean, we would, you know, I've hardly had any scenarios where we finish early on a best of 3 with all 3 maps. Really, it never happened. It legit never happened.
It's a rare occasion, especially, you know, having the first and second map be as quickly as they were, or quick as they were. It definitely brings into perspective how quick a best of 3 can go if things are, you know, if things are very polarizing, which they are. In this case, extremely polarizing.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love this cinematic drop down. Big shout out to Comes, aka Lima, the one and the only behind the cinematics. Great guy.
As you see right there. This is the worst I see about this Over. You criticize me if you don't think it. I'm going to put my point short. Hardly any utility. One guy with FAMAS and utility and a kit. This is sometimes a game changer, especially on sites where B, where we saw AVEZ attack and there's so tight choke points that it could buy time, especially right now at the 40-second mark. The opportunity to deny any further access with that would be pivotal. But AVEZ is a different plan anyway.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I think it would be even a more prudent choice for D to go for utility instead of the glass cannon. Simply put, it gives them that more survivability chance that they desperately need. Bialy fakes out the B push, comes in to find the first, even finds Impulse, doesn't get the shot down, but doesn't matter. Marcos and Navrat already delivered, and it is down to Impulse alone. As he is left in the wild, he will find himself 1-3 though. And 1-4 clutch, he's going to have to pull off a ace clutch in totality. Not going to happen. 16-6 final score. And unfortunately for lvlUP, that will be it for their first Swiss round. They will be going down a notch, 0-1, as AVEZ take it up in this best of 3, 2-1 overall. Kind of making it look better than we thought possible, right? At least in this current instance of theirs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with that in mind, Vince, I gotta say, your final thoughts on the series. How are you feeling about this?
I loved the matter of fact that we saw how good actually lvlUP can perform on Inferno. Yet again, I was so confused what happened on the other two maps. Because the matter of fact was, for me, we saw a well-structured, always rethinking, sort of reinventing themselves Inferno from their side. And other than that, it was an absolute disaster then striking following. Vertigo was